In my master's course, Cross-Cultural Communications for Live Events, one of the first things that I teach my students is the connection between events and between culture. Many governments, businesses, and people see events purely as a commodity. They see events just as a business practice. In 2016, I was asked by an event consultancy to come in and talk to them about what the Hong Kong government could do with the extra money from the Mega Events Fund. They had been asked to identify events that they could bring to Hong Kong. I tried to explain at the time that, well, there's things that you can buy, events that you could buy like Formula One, like the World Cup, but really the best thing to do is to create an event culture within Hong Kong, to look for events that are already happening and fund them from the grassroots. They said, yes, but that's not the question they asked. And I said, well, you're asking the wrong question. But in 2026, many of that things have changed. The Hong Kong government has changed the Mega Events Fund to be much more localized, and they're really trying to help to build an event community. Events create communication. Events create community. Events create culture. Since the dawn of time, when our ancestors gathered around fires and danced and sang and told stories, they created community, they created culture. We as event designers are like puppet masters. We're pulling invisible strings to create reactions. We create awe. We create wonder. We connect people. When we gather people, we're responsible. We hold them in our hands. They trust us. They trust us with their safety. They trust us with their attention. And they trust us with their valuable time. We think of ourselves as individual. We think we're unique, but we are all made the same. We have the same parts. We have the same emotions. We want the same thing. We want to be seen. We want to be accepted. But most of all, we crave connection. It's embedded in our DNA. That's been since the beginning of time, when safety was in numbers, when banishment from the tribe meant certain death. More than that, we're programmed to behave in certain ways. Our brain reacts to certain stimuli just universally. We smile when we're happy. We frown when we're sad. We cry. Those things are all universal, cross-cultural. And a good example of how the brain works. Now, I spent years as a professional magician. Now, magicians have a philosophy that they call misdirection. And the whole idea of misdirection is for you to look where I want you to look while the magic happens. But we've changed that to be a different thing. We've changed that to be what we'd call direction. We try to get you to look where we want you to look. It's universal. And we event designers also use this when we want to focus your attention in a certain place. Through events, we create a shared experience. Through events, we have a shared commonality. Through events, we create stickiness. The stickiness brings us together and creates a social glue that allows us to exchange social credit without having to negotiate at every single turn. We do this because partly we know that over time, the social credit that we build will all balance itself out in the end. This bonding also happens with parents and siblings, that whole saying that blood is thicker than water. But it can also happen with our family substitutes, within our offices, within the institutions that we join, within teams that we are part of, within our friend groups. And through this bonding, we start to create a liking. And this liking draws us together. And through that, we start to create our identities based around that liking. We start to build our tribes. We start to identify with those tribes. We even start to call ourselves after those tribes. You see it around politicians in their suits with their little pin that says what party they're affiliated with. You see it in rock and roll with the Swifties, the people that follow Taylor Swift around. With the burners, the people that go to Burning Man. With the Tedsters, the people that go to TED Talks. Bronies, the boys that like My Little Pony. All across, people that identify with the different events, with the different groups that they're a part of. Be it emos, be it rockers, be it mods. We all start to then bring our community together, and they all base their identities around their tribe. And from that tribe, we create artifacts, build legends, create myths, tell jokes. We make symbols, create symbolic actions. As we organize, we share beliefs and ways of understanding that help to ease communication. It shapes our attitude. It creates rules. It creates norms. It creates our codes and our values. Events are not commodities. They're not a can of beans to be bought and sold. A good event is crafted with science, with art. Bring together people for a purpose, to bond, to connect. Events create culture. My name is Robert Rogers, CSEP. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like, subscribe, connect, get in touch.
Events man.